In the early 1970s, a quiet English town became the epicenter of a chilling mystery. Two small stone heads were unearthed by children playing in their garden, a discovery that seemed innocent at first. But what followed were tales of paranormal terror, ghostly apparitions, and a sinister figure that defied explanation. Were these objects ancient artifacts tied to forgotten rituals, cursed relics imbued with malevolent energy, or simply an elaborate hoax? This is the story of the Hexham Heads. Our story begins in 1971, in the town of Hexham, England. Two young boys, Colin and Leslie Robson, were digging in their garden when they uncovered something extraordinary: two small stone heads, no larger than a fist, with unusual, carved features. One had a rough, masculine appearance, while the other bore softer, feminine features. Intrigued, the boys brought the objects inside, unaware of the chaos that was about to follow. The heads were placed on a shelf as an odd but harmless treasure. But it wasn't long before strange things began happening in the Robson household. Objects moved without explanation. Doors opened and closed on their own. And the family reported hearing faint, eerie noises that seemed to come from nowhere. Then came the most terrifying incident of all: a spectral figure, described as a half-human, half-wolf creature, was seen prowling the property. The Robsons weren't alone in their fear. Their neighbor, Mrs. Dodds, claimed she also encountered a shadowy, menacing figure in her home shortly after the heads were discovered. The neighborhood buzzed with rumors: were the Hexham Heads cursed? Desperate for answers, the family turned to experts. The heads changed hands several times, eventually reaching Dr. N. Ross, a renowned scholar of Celtic history and archaeology. Dr. Ross believed the heads might be ancient relics linked to Celtic rituals. But shortly after bringing them into her home, Dr. Ross became the target of the paranormal. One night, Dr. Ross awoke to find a large, werewolf-like figure standing in the hallway outside her bedroom. Frozen in fear, she watched as the creature slowly disappeared into the darkness. Other members of her family also reported hearing strange sounds and seeing unexplainable phenomena. Dr. Ross became convinced that the heads were tied to something ancient and possibly dangerous. Theories surrounding the Hexham Heads began to emerge. Some suggested they were Celtic charms used in ancient rituals, objects meant to summon spirits or protect sacred spaces. Others believed the heads were cursed, their energy unleashed after being disturbed. Paranormal enthusiasts speculated that the heads could be conduits for spiritual forces, attracting malevolent entities to anyone who possessed them. But not everyone was convinced. In a surprising twist, a man named Des Craigie came forward, claiming that he had made the Hexham Heads himself as a child. He explained that they were nothing more than homemade creations, molded from concrete and entirely modern. His confession seemed to debunk the mystery, but it didn't explain the bizarre events surrounding the heads. Could the paranormal activity have been a coincidence? Skeptics argued that the strange occurrences were likely psychological, a result of fear and suggestion spiraling out of control. Yet, believers pointed out that even if the heads were modern, they could still have attracted negative energy or become vessels for unexplained phenomena. Adding to the enigma, the Hexham Heads eventually disappeared. Their current whereabouts are unknown, leaving the mystery unsolved. Were they deliberately hidden to prevent further disturbances? Or are they sitting, forgotten in a dusty attic, waiting to unleash their secrets once more? The Hexham Heads remain a puzzle. Were they ancient relics with ties to forgotten rituals, cursed objects that unleashed chaos, or simply an elaborate hoax fueled by fear? Perhaps we'll never know. But their story reminds us of one truth: the line between myth and reality is often blurred. And sometimes, the smallest objects can carry the greatest mysteries. What's your take? Are the Hexham Heads a genuine mystery or an example of mass hysteria? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more tales of the unexplained.